So hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm DazzlinDave. This is your international fan reaction, and I really appreciate all the guys for actually getting a reaction. It's never easy after a bad defeat, 4-0. But they've got some words. They're honest to the point. Do you agree with them? Let's go without any further ado. Around the world. Oh, and I should say that we've got our debuts from Germany and Spain, so make sure that you send the love to those guys, and hopefully the next game they'll have something a lot more happier to talk about.
Hello all, this is Matt from Berlin, making my debut on the show, and ideally it would be in better circumstances. We just watched the Wolves lose 3-0. No, sorry, 4-0. Yeah, 4-0, worse than 3-0 to West Ham. It was probably the worst performance under Nuno and the worst performance I can remember for a very long time. Fundamentally, there's something wrong at the moment with how we're playing as a group of players, with the formation, and this sort of idea of being more attacking and possession based is clearly not working. I mean, we've conceded now 7 goals in 2 games, and so we've lost a defensive strength, but also haven't looked like scoring at all. Today, the midfield was getting bypassed. We didn't really create anything from open play. We looked out of ideas, off the pace. Honestly, I have no idea what to really think about that. I mean, it's really worrying. I think there's a fundamental issue going on right now, and you can pick out players. Vinagre was poor again. Saiss is poor again. That left side is always exposed, but Bolly was no better, to be honest. Neves doesn't maintain and doesn't control the midfield. Adama can't play in a 3. Like every single player was off, but there's something fundamentally at play with the formation, and we look porous at the back and lightweight up front. And while that continues, we're not going to pick up any points. We're not going to pick up any wins. This feels fundamentally that we have to change how we're playing. Luckily, we've got a good run of games coming up with Roundabout Gate's gone. So we can pick up some points, but today's performance, awful, really bad.
Hi guys, Paul here from Spain. I'd like to, on my first discussion about Wolves, be talking in a more positive manner, but really that was not good at all. Patricio kept us in the game in the first half, and that's a sad reflection of how poorly we were throughout the 90 minutes. If we think the buying has stopped, then let's not kid ourselves. We need another defensive player and a good, solid attacking midfielder if we are going to progress this season. I know that Nuno said it's a transition, and we're only 3 games in, let's face it. But if we do not bring another couple of players in with the ability to unlock defences, then we're in for a long, hard season. Man of the match for me, first half, probably on Patricio's performance. I would actually give it to Patricio. The rest, well, I don't know. Jimenez looked totally unaware. But saying that, did he get any ball? No, nothing whatsoever played to him. He looked off the pace. He looked disinterested. I don't know. On to the next game. We'll all remain Wolves fans, but a very disappointing night. Cheers, guys. All the best. See you again next week.
Hey Dave, Wolfman Jeff here on the porch in Alabama, and I think I'm just going to sit home and sip iced tea and forget the day ever happened. That performance today was one to forget. I think it's the worst performance we've had under Nuno. I'm hearing it's the worst we've had in quite a long time. This is, I don't know what to say. It was, sometimes we play that bad for one half. I can't think of one where we played that poorly throughout for both halves. And Dave, I can't blame our new players. It was especially our back 3 Those are the ones that I was personally more disappointed with, as well as our midfield. I do think Neto was trying to create chances, and it was just not there. And this is a team we should be beating. So hats off to West Ham. They won it. They wanted it. And the thing I'm probably the most frustrated with, Dave, is it felt like we quit. And that we thought, well, we just don't want to play this game. And that right there, there's no excuse for. So Nuno is going to rally the troops. There's a long season ahead. We got a lot of time to turn this around. But we can't do this again. Hey, this has been Wolfman Jeff in Alabama. Love you, Dave. Always Wolves.
Hi Dave, this is Gustavo from Tijuana, Mexico. Well, what can I tell you about the game? It was a tough one, and it was a heartbreaker. In the first half, Wolves played good game in the first 10 minutes, but unfortunately, the minute 16, West Ham scored the goal. That I think that was which made the difference of the game, because since then the Wolves came down and didn't play very well the first half, and well, in the second half still the same kind of game. The Wolves can make a lot of things feel, and they played same as the first half, and West Ham scored 3 goals, which made the difference in the game, and there was a 4-0 score at the end. But I think in the future, Wolves are gonna win games, and I think they're gonna play better and better. That's it, Dave. See you next time, and Wolves forever. Bye.
Morning, Dave. It's just before 6 o'clock. It's bitterly cold here in southeastern suburbs of Melbourne this morning. It's about 4 degrees now. It's gone up since I got out of bed. Not sure what to say really. Bit of a surprise. The fact that we've been outthought and outplayed by a David Moyes team just tells you probably everything that you need to know. Never in it, never looked like scoring, quite poor really. I do think that we missed the donk in the middle. We did seem to get overrun. Gaps between the forward line and our midfield was way too big, gave them far too much room to play in, and defensively we just a shambles. It just pulled us here, there and everywhere, and didn't really know what to do. As for the man of the match, well, I'm going to make a very different man of the match award today, and I'm going to give it to the kit man. He managed to turn everybody out in their right numbers, looked them all looking smart, kit looks great, and apart from that, I think we were just dire. Cheers, bye.
Dave, hi guys, Andy here from Montreux in Switzerland, lakeside to brighten you up and put a smile on your face after what can only be described as a quite disastrous match against West Ham. What can I say? I felt, I'm going to look on the bright side here. There are a number of new individuals in the team who need to come together and gel as a team. There are some good players, but as a team, the team didn't function. Defence was poor. I think we lack a classy midfielder. We need someone new with punch who can move forwards and backwards. I think Saiss is not delivering the goods in recent times, and perhaps we should be looking to strengthen the defence. I think it's unfortunate we're without Podence and Massar and Johnny Otto. I think this one has to go down to strategy and general team tactics, and hopefully Nuno will reflect and bring it all together in the next match. Let's look at it as one defeat, not as a 4-goal defeat. I think Goals win matches. It's not necessarily the number of goals that counts. It's just the fact we lost. Move on to the next one. Learn, move forward. You never learn anything by winning. You learn by falling over and picking yourself up and moving on to the next.
Hey Dave, Dave with New York Wolves here. Well, I started the day kind of excited to watch my first Wolves match at our new house here in Stanford. Here's my little temporary setup with the telly on the table and the flag. That is only temporary though. The permanent setup will be over here, and don't be surprised to see that shed looking a rather familiar shade of gold and black at some point in the future. But I don't know, maybe I should sell the house before we've even moved in, because that match was bloody awful and I never want to see anything like it again, and maybe the house is unlucky. Not that I'm superstitious, but seriously, that just was a poor performance defensively and attacking wise. I'm not sure there's many positives to take out of it, other than maybe Patricio keeping us in the game. You know, there were a couple of other chances in the first half where they could have been out of sight by half time. So I'm hoping it's just chalk it up to experience. You know, Samido started, he's been at the club 4 days and had probably, 1 or 2 training sessions. We had Vinagre at left back, who's young and, not our first choice there. And I think Nuno's trying to change the way we play. So I think we're a little bit of a team in transition at the moment, and with new players and new playing style. And hopefully that's all it is. And, we have started the last 2 seasons fairly slowly. Obviously this year, the first 7 minutes against Sheffield United were the opposite of that. But sometimes it does take a little while to gel. So I'm hoping that's all it is. And, no reason for alarm bells to start ringing. And with enough time in training and the squad being together a little longer, Nuno can do what Nuno does and get us back to being a contender for the top 6 or top 4 or whatever we can accomplish. So really disappointing, but I think let's just forget it and move on to the next match and hope that we play better against Fulham. So that's it. Nothing really else to say. Cheers, mate. Talk to you soon.
Hello there, Chris here in Athens. What to say? West Ham 4, Wolves 0. Incredibly disappointing result. I fancied Wolves to beat West Ham quite comfortably, really. The result was absolutely fair. Wolves were defended pretty poorly. Didn't really grow at the other end. I think Rui Patricio actually kept the score down for us, and that says an incredibly huge amount. I mean, not good, is it really? Stoke, Man City, now West Ham. David Moyes definitely did his homework. Perhaps COVID-19 and sitting on the couch helped him do his homework. I just hope Nuno is going to have his thinking cap on and do that. Very clear that we have new players that haven't gelled well together yet. I think there's potential for Traore and Semedo to link up a lot better, but they've got to get more time together on the practice ground, I think. Terribly disappointing result. For me, the only player that I thought did all right really was Neto. Had a few good runs, had a shot or 2, but really terribly disappointing result. Hoping for better next time. From Athens, always Wolves.
Hi Dave, pretty bad performance yesterday. You can tell players are fresh. Just coming into the side, lacked togetherness, lacked fight, lacked creativity. I think the centre mids are really struggling. Neves and Moutinho, not a lot of play going through them. Not getting a lot of the ball. Some bright signs. I think Neto's coming into his own now. He's doing really well. Need some solutions to the back 3 at the moment. Bolly, most surprisingly, is having bad game after bad game now, quite consistently. So I think, but things just need to settle down. It's just at the start of the season. We're still better off points-wise from where we were this time last season. Onwards and upwards. We do a bad game every now and then, and hopefully yesterday is out the system and it's our bad game. So onwards and upwards, keep the faith, Wolves,
Hello Dave, other Wolves fans, Brian from Thailand here, trying to work out what went wrong in the 4-0 hammering at West Ham yesterday. Go through the first half, early part, weren't much in it. And then I think we was going forward, lost the ball at the edge of the area, quick ball up to Antonio. Antonio was fouled by Bolly. They took a quick free kick up to Bowen. Bowen ran in, bent it round. Poor defending by Says because he let him allow to come inside. And then after that, it was just one-way traffic. We could have been 3 or 4-0 down at half-time if it weren't for bad finishing. I know 4-0 was it. 4-0 was it, one over the bar, and Rui Patricio saved us a few times, but it was, not good. Second half, came out, you think, we might step up here, but never happened. The worst thing about it was performance. It's got to be the worst performance under a Nuno side since he'd been there in like 3 and a bit years, but performance-wise, it was dreadful, poor, and at times it was embarrassing. Anybody who come out with any credit, Rui Patricio was probably man of the match, saved us bigger defeat. Neto didn't play too bad. Traore in the first half, 1 or 2 little glimpses. Semedo was okay, but the rest of them, forget it. Midfield, Martinho's had 2 bad games on the trot now, and I can't work that out, but defensively, the 3 central defenders were, dearie me, bullied, outplayed, everything by one player. Antonio, their man up front, just took us apart in defence. Cody was poor. I don't know what's the matter with Willy Bolly. Willy Bolly has just lost complete lack of form. Don't hit the panic button yet. We're only 3 games in, you know. Early games in the Premiership are always sort of like a little bit indifferent until you find your form. But no, don't hit the panic button yet. I think that's about it. Apart from Keith down in Melbourne, just a quick message for you, mate. I know you're a Springsteen fan like me, but he's releasing a new CD coming out later, and he's got on YouTube called Ghost. I'll put a link in when Dave uploads the video. I'll put a link in so you can go and see it. Enjoy the rest of the week, guys, if you can. Take it easy. Bye.
This is Chris from Eidsvoll in Norway, and I think we all know what happened there, really. So let me give some kind of a summary. Pass sideways, pack pass. Pass sideways, try something other than passing sideways or back, lose the ball. Repeat. Absolutely horrendous performance in every single way. Defending awful as well. I think this one's on Nuno as much as anything, I'm sorry to say, because it was obvious from the first 20 minutes of the game to Neves and Martinho midfield. It doesn't work anymore. We've suspected it before. It's been great while it lasted and while it was good. It doesn't work anymore, and he wasted so long before he tried to change it. We've signed players in pretty much every other field, except that we need something different in midfield. It looks like we might have been found out a bit. Now, to lose 4-0 to West Ham is an embarrassment. It's something to be truly ashamed of. The manner we lost. Absolutely no positives to take from that game whatsoever. Look, I think we're in trouble this season. It's not working. I think we're in trouble. Even someone like Neto, he looks a quality player, doesn't he? But how does he fit in this team? You know, there's no end result. There's no Vinagre. God almighty. God awful. There's not much to say. I'm so disappointed.
Hey Dave, it's Aidan Purcell checking in from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. Just finished watching that nightmare. Well, at least I think it's over. I gave up on it after that 4th goal went in. That was absolutely dreadful. That was, for me, probably the worst performance I've seen in 3 years. Our back 3 was absolutely lost. Saiz was dreadful. Cody just could not put up with Antonio, who just bullied him around all day. even Bali, you know, giving away some loose touches and you know, looked pretty flat-footed at times, and just dreadful. Every single player on the pitch was absolutely dreadful. I actually did like the attacking runs by Neto, but again, lay it off. You've done the hard bit. Just a shocking performance. Nobody looked up for it. Didn't even get a chance to see Semedo get into it. Just dreadful. Anyways, on to the next one. It can't get much worse than that, lads. So, come on, me babbies. Yeah, on to the next one.
Hey Dave, it's Zach in San Diego, California. Unfortunate loss today against West Ham. I mean, just couldn't really put it together at any point during that game. Obviously, letting up as many goals as they did was never good. You can't win with 0 goals either. So we need to be able to find ways to put it in the back of the net. We were just getting dominated in the midfield. Patricio didn't look on his game. Not that there was much he could do against some of those, but yeah, it's unfortunate. But you know, you need those adjustment periods when you get new players adjusting to the system, and maybe that means Nuno will have to mix it up. You know, maybe the 3-4-3, the 3-5-2 isn't going to be as potent as it was before. Maybe teams are expecting it. Maybe it's a new system to some other players that have been coming in, or they're just not used to it with Wolves. So it's hard to say, but I think we have to trust in Nuno and trust in the players that they'll adjust over time, and that we'll get back to winning sooner than later. So yeah, on to the next one.
So thanks to everyone for sending in the reactions, and great to have Germany and Spain represented as well for this one. As I say, if you want to represent your country or want to be the UK guest representative, drop something in the comments below, or add me or message me on Instagram, DazzlinDave without the G, and I'll let you know how you can get involved. And again, please go and check out the work that the foundation do. Obviously, it wasn't easy for anyone to watch, let alone do a reaction, but that's part and parcel, and they've done it. So leave your comments on what they've said below, and please smash a like to the video. If you're brand new around here, please consider subscribing and hit the bell, as you'll always be first to be notified. So until the next one, hopefully in a happier place, I'm Dazzling Dave, always Wolves.